I'd like to want my report to you on what we've done for last year. A lot of you are not going to like this, but this is the truth.
I hope so.
Whether you choose to believe it or not is down to you.
That's a good start. Absolutely.
I joined the parish council 1 year ago along with Paul and Donna. What we had not appreciated was that this would be the most tumultuous year of this parish. Further exacerbated by total inappropriate leadership and advice. In July last year, the parish was without a clerk. Meetings were called without proper notice having been given, and councillors were denied a voice that were kept completely in the dark about events which concerned them. MOPs were denied their statutory rights for the third year running to fully inspect the accounts, etc. In December last year, we were introduced to Carrie Philo as our clerk. She grasped the nettle with both hands. Within 3 months, she had turned the mechanics of this parish council around despite heavy public criticism, which still appears to be ongoing. Carrie has worked tirelessly alongside both the internal and external auditors to put the annual accounts and the parish council in a proper order. Indeed, the auditor's report singled out her effort for praise. However, that which Carrie and the auditors have discovered relates back to previous councils. For example, a number of receipts and payments have been improperly accounted, that the asset register was vastly overstated and incomplete, and grants had been given out which were outside the competence of the former parish council, i.e. grants at well over £1,000, which is the parish council's legal level. The investigations are still ongoing at the behest of the auditors. Many of you are asking, where has the money gone? The answer is simple. It has gone on the correction of past accounting, which follows the instructions of the external auditor to represent the accounts for the previous year. You can see this clearly explained in the latest financial report. Much work has been carried out on the allotments and cemetery, some of it again controversial. The allotments have undergone a complete rethink in terms of pricing by square metre, making it fairer for all. The cemetery has been tidied, and what little data we were left with regards, for example, ownership has been updated. There is still work to do regarding a number of unsafe headstones, which we are currently addressing. There has been much controversy about the trees that were felled. The average life of a cherry tree is 15 to 20 years. Those trees were planted in 1982, some 40 years ago. Over twice their expected life. They were rotten and a danger to the public, and new trees will be planted in their place. With regards to the financial data, I would like to add that at the meeting of the former parish council before 3 councillors retired, they elected to issue 3-year contracts to the village caretaker and grass cutter. It has only gone further to challenge our finances. Many of you will be asking why we have moved the venue tonight from the Hill Institute. An MOP raised an issue with the fire officer on the suitability of the Hill Institute for parish council meetings. The findings and advice are now being investigated, but it has highlighted possible issues with regards to the management of the building, which has resulted for the time being in us having to relocate to a more suitable and cost-effective venue. On behalf of the Parish Council, I wish to extend sincere apologies to a member of the public who, in my opinion, was banned for only pursuing his legal statutory right. Before I go, I would like to ask you to vote. Do you want, as a community, want the parish clerk to dissolve parish council to dissolve the YC?
Sorry, can she not read your writing?
No. Dissolve and the NYC to take over the running of the council. If yes, thank you. I will take this opportunity to go back to council to discuss. If no, we are all now working towards a better future for this village, working for the benefit of the whole parish, not just loud voices, and sincerely ask for your support. So can we have a vote? Do you want it to go to the NYC, or do you want the parish council to remain?
Well, I don't think this is the place for that, frankly. Not
Whether it's the place or not, and you have Sandra, you have no reason to speak. You are not a resident in the village.
But at least I'm speaking and not shouting.
Mike, will you show her the paperwork, please?
Yeah, it's
No, please don't bother.
I will do because you're.
No, please don't bother because you're so unpleasant. I really don't wish to hear it.
Nasty as you. Section 13, Local Government Act 7.
I don't have a vote.
The
but
parish
I
meeting of a
welcome
parish
to
shall
attend.
consist of the local government electors for the parish. You do not live in the parish, you cannot speak.
I'm sorry, I was actually summoned to this meeting by the local clerk. Now, if she was stupid enough to summon me to a meeting at which I cannot speak, I'm not quite sure who's worse, me or her. I think it's her.
Will you sit down and be quiet?
I'm sorry, is there some reason why you have to screech?
Yes, because you don't listen.
Bring on normal please. Could you clarify please what the vote is for other members that haven't been here before?
If you wish the
Please,
council
thank
to dissolve, if it's dissolved, it would then turn to North Yorkshire County Council to remain the parish till the next election period.
So until the next election period, and then it would revert back to a parish council through elections?
It depends what North Yorkshire decide. 4 years.
So vote to dissolve the council is a yes.
So,
Yes.
but what you're essentially saying is you're proposing a parish poll.
Yes, and
Right? So a parish poll cannot be held now. It has to be notified to
No,
and then
we're just
held in the
asking.
future.
We're just asking the question.
And he's trying to
I'm trying to
clarify.
understand.
within a parish meeting, you can take opinions. All you're
Okay,
asking for is an
that's not a
opinion.
parish poll then.
No, it's just an opinion.
Well, excuse me, you haven't taken opinions yet. It's in the guidance on parish meetings, which I have read before I came. The parish poll would come at some point in the meeting after the residents have had the opportunity to raise issues. At the moment, all we've heard is the chair. You haven't listened to the residents, you haven't asked the residents.
We're just trying to
what
clarify.
it says in
we
the
don't
guidance.
understand, that's all.
Can I just clarify the situation with regard to North Yorkshire County Council? What has happened before when things have collapsed is North Yorkshire take it over for a short period of time until they can co-opt 3 other people to make it quarry to run the business at council. That happened at Lockton, not so far away, and that happened very successfully. So the council was dissolved, the Rydal District Council ran it because they were the next tier up, and then Rydal District Council co-opted to that council, and Jeff here was with me when that happened, was it about 3 years ago, and I can just clarify that that's what happened.
So the vote tonight, just to be clear, if we have this vote, is to put it to the rest of the parish members, or is the vote tonight decisive?
It's just, no, it doesn't decide anything.
Okay,
It's just an opinion.
it's just to get an informal opinion, right? Fine, thank you.
So who's in favour of it dissolving? Show of hands, please.
Four. Just pick them up. 1, 2,
Could you clarify the numbers, please? 'Cause
they put
There's 29 of you that want it to dissolve.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that, June? Good.
No, I'd like to know the numbers, please, Marguerite.
Well,
Don't be
you've
so
got it
rude.
29.
29 out of how many?
51.
15.
There's only 50 seats in here.
Can we just ask for a no vote, just in case of
There might be
abstention?
abstentions, yeah.
No vote, the rest of you, I presume.
No.
Don't presume, ask the question.
No vote, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. 13. 13. Not in favour.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite significant, isn't it?
Those that didn't put their hands up, obviously.
Yeah. There won't be many of those, was there? Most people
So what happens now?
13 and 29.
They're not.
Yeah, we'll go to the next meeting and we shall decide what we're doing.
Parish meeting and close.
Right, question, who wants the first question? Put your hand up if you've got a question. Anyone there?
I'd like to ask about the behaviour of the parish council. So,
What way?
the parish
Evening,
council,
Margaret.
do the parish council follow your code of conduct?
Yes, we do.
It says you should act with integrity and honesty, act lawfully, treat all persons fairly and with respect, and act in a way that secures public confidence. Actually, what's happened since you took office is that your behaviour has led to the staff going absent sick and ultimately costing the parish £5,200 to resolve. The behaviour has caused the resignation of a councillor. In meetings, as we've already seen at the beginning of this meeting, you shout,
I was told to shout because you couldn't hear me.
you're rude to each other, you're rude to the members of the public, you accuse people of things. How on earth is this behaviour that secures public confidence?
But that's not this chair.
Since
That was the previous chair.
This is the other chair as well.
It's the council, it's not individual, you are collectively
Yeah.
a council.
Collective representation.
the council's been dominated.
Don't think it's for you
By-
to answer.
The chair was completely roadshot over everybody, including breaking all the laws.
She was a bully.
I'm sorry.
And I have tried to
Sorry,
get
could you say that again?
You were a bully.
I don't think so, but anyway, carry on. I didn't understand. I didn't actually understand what you were saying.
Can I explain some of the things that you've said about me? You banned me because I asked questions. You banned me for a year for asking questions. You banned me for 3 years for asking questions.
No, you were banned for 6 months.
You're banned.
Excuse me.
And then
You were banned for 6 months. You were
You
then
can't
banned for a
speak.
year. Yes, I can.
You cannot
I'm not going to sit here and be.
You are
not speak. I will not be silent.
I shan't be quiet.
You cannot speak.
I am being.
You a chair.
If I am being
You're
slandered,
responsible for
if
it.
I am being slandered, if I am being slandered,
It's not
if I am being slandered, I will respond. I have a right.
I'm ringing the police to have you
Okay,
removed.
carry on.
Can I just make a comment that in the rules it says the chair will preside over the business of the meeting. So can I ask the chair to please preside?
But you're not allowed to.
Well, it says here the chair will preside
Did
over
you
the
hear
parish
what
meeting.
Harry just said then, June? She
No, I
said
didn't.
You're not allowing me to. Right, let's have a sensible question, shall we?
Now you see that is an
I thought
example
that
of
was
such
so
behaviour. That is so rude. So rude.
Have the right to raise a question.
I have one for you. Margaret, I have one question I want to ask you.
Yes.
I was honoured to do grave digging for 2 years. Can you tell me why in our grave that people can't pay the respect to their own dead because they don't want flowers putting on graves. How embarrassing do you think that makes people feel?
It's not good.
No, no. Well then, why is it being? Why can't you put respect on for people who die? Why do you want to say we can't put flowers on, we can't do this? It's a place of respect.
Are they on the headstones?
It doesn't matter where they are. Can you tell me why we can't do it?
Do you want to answer this one, Nancy?
Well, someone wants to answer it, but it's an embarrassment.
I don't have...
No, hang on, I'll ask you a question. I've got a lady sat here.
Yeah, but I
No, no, listen, just hang on. I've known her all my life. Her daughter died. And now you're telling me that she can't go and place flowers on her grave. Now, I want to ask you a question. If that was your daughter, would you place flowers on the grave?
Yes,
Because I'm going to place them on just how everybody got influenced.
I know there was
Why can't we put the flowers on?
Christmas ones.
We're not saying.
Yes, you are.
On the
You are removing flowers off the grave. To me, that's an embarrassment.
Can't hear you, sorry.
Flowers are allowed on the grave. How long for?
Oh, there's a time limit, is there now?
Not removed.
It was the
Henry,
Christmas ones.
so there's a time limit now how long you put flowers on graves, is there? Where's that come from? Who's passed that? Well then why is it being done then?
There was tubs in front. Right.
And another thing, when we have graves that are sunk, why is it they're going tipping soil on top of graves and just leaving them as rough as out?
They were supposed to put in...
Hang on, they're supposed to. So why did they enforce that they do it correctly then? I had one go down, 92-year-old bloke going to see his wife, and it was an embarrassment. And credit due to Paul, I rang him up and gave him a bully, and he did it out. And he returfed it for us. And you people here saying you want respect for this village, you tell me show some respect for them people in that graveyard.
It's why we've been trying to make it level so it's safe for people to walk.
So they can cut. No, it isn't. If it's got to be level, then why have you got raised graves then? You have a grave that's just been dug, it's raised up nearly 6 inch.
I don't settle down.
Don't talk to stupid, you won't sink that far.
We've had to get some few people out.
You want to get your act together and respect the people in that graveyard. Same as all you lot, you sit here whinging about daft things. Why not go, just shut up, you know. Why not just go up there and pay some respect for them and look after them better? Because one day you lot will end up there and you'll get treated safe. And to me, it's an embarrassment for everyone sat here that can whinge and go on. Come on, any questions? Come on.
Ian, you were digging graves. Well, why is it we've got a damn contractor now coming 100 miles to dig the graves in this village? I'm disgusted.
Why don't you dig the buggers then?
But why did you stop?
I was talking to you one man, he come from Eggleston to dig graves.
And?
He's got the contract.
And? Give the man respect if he's doing it. But it isn't just that, it's afterwards, it has to alter. You cut all the trees down, you say they've been there for years. There was nothing wrong with them, they look perfect. Now it looks a shambles, to be honest.
You're totally wrong, those trees.
Oh, you'll know you're a tree surgeon, are you?
No, I'm not.
Well, then how do you know they were rotten then?
Well, in the middle of them there was a
How do you know it in the middle of them? Did you test them? Anyway, that's beside the point, but come on. Let's have a bit of respect given back to people in that graveyard. If they want to put flowers on, let them put flowers on.
Well, they can.
They can
It's
do.
not stopped.
Well, why they're being removed then?
They haven't removed any
Haven't been
flowers.
removed.
They have been removed.
No, I haven't removed any.
I think you need to give them more respect up there, in my opinion. If you don't like it, tough shit for me.
I read the last one I walked down there. I know there's controversy over the Christmas ones, but that's not flowers now, is it?
Why controversy over Christmas
Yeah.
that are on the graves?
Because they're all taken away and they didn't think they should be taken
Well,
away.
this is argument, isn't it? They're a place of worship for a lot of people.
Yeah, well that's why we've extended that time
You
now.
shouldn't extend anything, they should be left alone for doing their own thing.
I mean, personally, my husband, I take at Christmas, they come down on 12th night, which is normal when you take decorations down, but if you still want them there till February, that's your choice. Anything else, Ian, or have you been, any other questions?
Yeah, I have another one for you. The allotments. What do you spend, what's all the expenditure for the allotments? All the money you make on the allotments, because it was given at the last meeting by Sandra Bell saying that the allotments should not make money. But yet they're making about £1,400–1,500 on the money. So where's the money going?
It sits in a reserve, but there is...
We aren't supposed to make money on the allotments, surely.
The allotments have not made money over the years.
Well, where's that money going then? What's the expenditure for that? Only the water.
And the hedge cutting, the caretaker...
Hedge cutting that's being done, we do our own now.
The front, the caretaker does, the caretaker's done the paths.
They haven't done the paths, they're doing nothing up there. So where's all the money going? Because you know what these things supposed to make money, so where's the money going?
It's sat in reserve if you look at the...
So why is it sat in reserve? You're saying, why are they charging so much for allotments then? Why is it sat in reserve? For what? I can understand for the water bill, that's fair comment.
If you want new fencing, for instance, around the allotments...
There's no fencing being put up. So where's it all going? And every year you make this money, and made it for years. I mean, we all know why it was given, that allotment was given here. It seems to have escalated up and making money, and we're going down for it. Just another one for you to work out, where's money going if you're making? I hope you're declaring for a tax thing.
That's an insult. A clear insult.
Yeah. So it doesn't make that. We know it's not supposed to make money.
So where's that money going then, what you're making on us?
How much money are we making on it, Ian?
Well, you know how many allotments is, you charge £40 allotment, is it 38? They charge it for years, so where's all that money going?
Not so long ago there was £7,000 paid in fencing.
Sorry?
Not so long ago in the council there was £7,000 paid out in fencing for the allotments.
7,000? You're being shafted there, aren't you?
Not this council, I hasten to add.
Just on this whole point of this council, that council, it's the same parish council. You know, it's a collective. Just because there's a new chair, it's not a new parish council.
It is a relatively new parish council. We've had a year at it of hell, to be honest.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, please? The budget for the caretaker for the 2022-23 was a budget of £8,000. The actual spend was £14,626.95p. An overspend of £6,626.95. And you have claimed in meetings that you don't know who the caretaker is or what he's doing at the same time approving his payments. I do believe that you councillors have wasted parish money because he was not managed correctly.
You are sorry. We never saw a worksheet, did we?
So can you answer the question?
We never saw a worksheet for what work
What
he
was
was
the
doing.
question?
How come
You
people
put all
learn
the
so much?
councillors. You know, I'm not talking to you. Please, I'm talking to the councillor. Okay, I'm talking to the chairman. No, I want the chairman to answer.
I cannot answer that question because I've never seen any of his worksheets. Never.
But why not? You've been on the council for 12 months.
Correct.
Correct, but until I took on the chair, I've never seen anything. I've told you that.
But you were proving his payment.
I wasn't proving because I'm not on the banking.
Perhaps you need to ask the previous chair.
No.
She can't speak.
But the minutes were always approved by you all.
Yeah.
I was not. I am not on the banking, so I don't get to prove anything.
I don't know if anybody's aware, but we paid £23,000 to a clerk who only worked 3 months.
Yeah. So was that part of her compensation?
I'm not.
That's GDP.
£23,000 for 3 months' work. You pay caretakers £20,000. We gave 4,400 in grants. And you've got to remember that when Mr. Sanderson, husband of the county councillor, prepared the budget for the new council, there was a 35,000 overspend.
Yes. They budgeted a £35,000 loss
Loss.
for the year. So that comes straight off the top of the 77,000 that we have in reserve for a start.
And as for the clerk who got paid £23,000 for 3 days' work, she managed to value the total assets of the parish.
I'm sorry, I really do think this is inappropriate.
Pardon?
She's not here to defend herself.
I couldn't care less.
I know you don't care about anything.
I don't care about dishonesty.
No.
50.
Apparently not.
You're not allowed to speak.
But unfortunately nobody else is calling you out on this. You are talking nonsense.
Well, of course I'm not talking nonsense. The fact. If anybody's very careful, all the information about the accounts is on the website, and there's 14 files. Including bank. Sorry?
Is that available for everyone?
Of course it is, it's all there. Where do you think I got the information from? Santa Claus?
That's a full question, you don't need to take the mic.
No, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry. 534,000 agreed by the council on the 36th of December 21, which Martin Sanderson was a councillor. It's all there. Just look for it.
So are you making a personal claim against Mr. Sanderson? Is that what you're saying? Are you making a statement?
We're having a sensible debate. People like you that for it. We have, there's 14 documents, shut up, 14 documents, bank reconciliation, summary of cost centres, internal audit report.
Absolutely.
And they overvalue the assets. I'll tell you.
You know what, tell this guy on the council, he's got the same manners as you lot.
Well, at least I don't put crap on Facebook.
I don't even have a Facebook account, so don't lay that on me.
Some of the stuff that's on, calling the council idiots.
When I was on the council, I was wanting to ban you for life. Fortunately, that wasn't successful.
The trouble is, you lot don't accept the facts, and all you do is come along and have a snide, and that doesn't agree, you then put it on Facebook. And whoever runs the Thornton mode, he wants reporting, because that stuff is insulting.
Still at the back of the live
And defamatory.
He's the defamatory one.
So we're talking about respect and treaties. The question raised earlier about treating people with respect, and I've seen a lot of discussions so far, which is far from respectful. There's been defamation, libel, slander, some made-up things with people who know who it is. We really must, as a parish, work together. This is ridiculous. It really is. From all sides. So we talk about respect, we talk about dignity. The parish council is there to serve the parishioners. One of the main ways that the parishioners have is to ask questions at a parish council meeting. There's been a lot of questions which go unanswered. Why is the parish council not answering the questions?
Did you not ask this last parish meeting and you got the same answers you get now? If you put it on a piece of paper
eventually, when they get all the information together, they will answer you. But until you put a question down on a bit of paper, how are you going to answer it?
You've got
the answer last parish meeting.
No, I didn't.
You did?
No, sorry.
And you actually forgot to mention that in your notes that you put on Facebook. And the bit where you were told you were being asking inappropriate questions, I may add.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The point is that I've written things in paper, I've put them down in emails, I've put a complaint in about not having an answer a number of times, and no answer comes forward. The parish council is there to serve parishioners. There seems to be a common theme of parish parishioners can be told to ask questions, yet we don't get the answers. What we're asking for, the reason why so many people have come to this meeting, the reason why over half of the people that asked this parish council to dissolve is because they're not feeling like the parish council is serving them as the parishioners. It's not getting what the best we think for the villages. And I talk about respect. I mean, it's just basic things. We don't have to shout at each other. We don't have to call each other idiots. We can all agree to disagree beautifully. Doesn't make us idiots or wrong, and doesn't mean we have to make bold statements of you're stupid. So the plan of the question is, why is the parish council not being more proactive in answering the parish council questions? And will the parish council please treat each other with respect?
Well said. It's not a school playground.
Mark, can I just make a comment about you saying about the vote in the room? That there were 29 people wanted to dissolve the council. Can I ask what the other 1,900 will do? Because they're not here.
Well, the thing that I just said, Margaret there said, the reason they're answering is because they ask stupid questions.
Well, I don't think you ask stupid questions. What you don't do is understand the answers and then keep asking the same question over and over. But can I just say something? I'm not a fan of Facebook. I hardly look at it, but occasionally I'll go on there because my favourite television programme is Would I Lie to You? And I was on the other day and I saw something from our county councillor which says this council must not keep going backwards but to move on. Why doesn't she convince you lot to practice what she preaches and to stop going back, to move on? Particularly Rebecca here goes back over and over and over on things she can't have an answer to. Why don't you all get together and move on and say you've got a new council here, they're trying to bust a gut to sort it out.
And we're here.
The past council. I don't know where you are. Do you live in the village? Are you elected?
Yes, I do.
Right, okay. Can I finish what I'm saying?
Well, you've just taken the opportunity to have a go at something that doesn't relate to the gentleman's question that you raised.
I'm entitled to an opinion here tonight.
But we're waiting for the answer on the question, and you've just interjected to get your...
He asked the same question over and over. It does matter.
Does he get an answer?
But he said he doesn't get an answer. He gets an answer every week.
This is like being in a schoolyard full of school children.
Well,
so David,
your friend next to you.
I just met her tonight.
Yeah. David, well, I asked a question there, and the response from the chair there was just, well, you asked a good question, the people there asked you good questions. With that in mind, what I would like to do is, because of this parish council, not new parish council, it's the same parish councils, I would like to ask for a parish poll to be held in this village. It wasn't the question I asked earlier, it's the proper way of doing it. I would like to ask those in this room to have a parish poll.
I don't know if that's your choice, I'm not...
As a parishioner, I'm entitled to...
Can you just explain what you would mean by a parish poll?
So a parish poll means the questions we asked of the parish council. So the same way that Margaret asked
To the whole of the village? It would go out to the whole of the village?
Correct, yeah, you vote. But this is what David just said about the rest of the village. What I'm asking for parish polls is, if 10 members of this parish ask a parish poll, a parish poll can be held. And the question can be agreed along the lines of what Margaret said earlier, about do we have confidence in this parish council. Which is a formal way of doing it. So I would like to ask the dependent here would like a parish poll, we can start that process.
I think we have to do. Jim, Joy, Parish Poll? More than 10. Well, what the guidance says is a poll may be demanded before the end of the meeting on any question. Can you just let me finish? On any question arising at the meeting. The call for a poll can come from the chairman or by 10 or 1/3 of the residents.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's not 1/10 of the residents in this room.
It's or. The word is or. Or. So it's the chairman or 10 or 1/3. And we've got more than 10.
We've got a chair as well, because he says no.
No, it's all. It's not.
Big world.
We've got 20 seconds.
I think that's a sensible thing to do. I think it has to go to the village.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, have to go.
I raised the question earlier.
How much
The one routine and
I know how to get it. It has to go to the village. We can't carry on like this. We can't carry on with anything. The best thing to do is just go to the village.
Take it to the next council meeting and then
This ought to done, you would be.
We can't, they need to prove they're an elected member of the village.
Yeah, correct. That's correct.
That's not our problem. That's not
This is parish pay for a parish poll. Council pay for a parish poll.
We'll raise it. Peanuts.
Are you all ready?
Yes.
Do you need to collect names? So make sure there's
Going to ask, I think we know it's me as well, is that want to manage.
How many people want a parish poll? I think the easiest thing is people to stand up. It's easy to count bodies and hands.
stand up if you want a parish poll.
They're not residents. It's got to go to the village. You cannot carry on like this. You can't carry on like this. You can't carry on like this. And the fair thing is to put it back to the village and just let the village decide. It's never going to sort out otherwise.
Oh, you, yes, I'm never going to get you.
Standing up.
£36
Can I just have another, sorry.
Keep standing.
Jim's not closed.
It's 32. Basically, I just have to notify the district.
It's a referendum, isn't it?
No, the question has to be agreed at this council, so that is up for debate now. So we would debate what the question is going to be put to the residents of this village, and it has to be a question with a very simple yes or no answer. And I think that's what should be decided now.
I think, I'll kick off an option. Do you have confidence in the parish councillors who took up office in May 2022? You can name if you like, but I'll pose that as a question.
No, that's not appropriate.
So if people say no, then what is the consequence of that?
They stay on. There is no legal standing to a vote of no confidence. So maybe the question should be the question that the council asked at the beginning, which have more understanding.
Could you just remind us what
dissolve the parish council? Can we raise that question? So can I propose then the question is, do we dissolve the parish council? Is it as simple as...
Does the parish want the parish council to dissolve could be a question.
Right.
But there's no standing law, has it?
We would put it to the district.
Sorry?
We put it to the district council to go out and vote.
Not just the hub and the ones that, yeah.
The hub, what's the hub got to do with it?
Absolutely nothing, but she's just...
Marguerite and the hub.
Just to put the kind of questions to the rest of the room.
So, yeah. So my proposal would be that we propose to dissolve the parish council. Is it as simple as that? Yeah?
Well, it has to be yes and no.
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Do the parishioners of the village want the council to dissolve?
Well, it has to be it's an individual voting, so it has to be
Yes or no?
do you want the parish council dissolved?
Yes
So
or no?
Thornton will be parish council dissolved. Yes or no?
It's got to be yes or no answer.
Yes.
Would you go as far as saying in the interim, or because people might interpret it that once it's dissolved that is the end of the parish council going forward, or would there be some form of communication explaining what is happening to the
advice that I received,
yeah,
it could be up to the next election period.
Okay.
No, it wouldn't be. You would put in an interim executive
That's what the advice I
of 3 people, and the next tier up, which would be North Yorkshire Council, would then put 3 people forward to run it. That's how it works.
Richard,
my other question is,
may have been how it happened there, but that's not the advice I've just received this week.
what explanation would be given to the rest of the parishioners about the vote and why there is a vote? Would they get any explanation, or would they just be told to go to the polls and they're going to read a card and they're going to say, well, is that it disbanded forever? Or unless they get some form of communication explaining that it is until a further point in time that somebody is elected, and it could be up to whatever that date is that you...
I agree that. I think in the same way we did with the last parish council election, we could do some hustings.
Give up. Why did you put it for council on the last time?
Stop it. Nothing to do with the hustings that we're here tonight, Mark.
No.
So I don't understand that statement.
Richard.
I've got a question. Sorry to butt in. I have a question on ask you lot. If you dissolve this council now, do you think you guys can make a better job?
No, they will not.
No, honestly, put your hand up. Do you think you can do a better job? Is anyone out talking to you because you can't talk? So shut up. Shut up. That's the question. Shut up. Hey, be quiet.
No.
You can't
Get
speak. You're banned.
No, I can't vote.
Come on, be honest. Come on.
No, I can't vote.
Dear government. Be quiet.
No, for the sake of the vote, I think it's just supposed to be a democracy, that's it.
No, listen. I want to ask you all you know, because you're all against this council, obviously. So then if they just go up and walk out, how many of you guys can stand up until their show and do a better job? Not like you can't, because you're as cooked as her anyway. Of course you are. You want to look back to your passport.
That is not.
With a lot of parishioners in Philly, you won't even know what's going on. So I'm asking you, because you were all set up to take over this council. Yes, you are, it's obvious. Someone said, well, come on, and you put your hand up here so you can do a better job than these guys. We what they're up against. Come on, stand up and take the places. No, answer the question.
I would like to think that I would try.
What do you think they're doing? They're trying to wait, but you're against them so much. This guy's name, well, listen, this guy's name, right on the name. Respect didn't give him its earned, to earn it, you got to give it. You aren't giving them no respect, and likewise, I agree.
I only ask some simple questions. This is my first
I'm asking you a simple question then. Stand up and do it then.
I've answered it twice. I would like to think I would do the best for the village.
And do you think they are?
No. At the moment, no.
What do you think what you want to do different what they can't do then? Shut up, you.
No, this is the forum for it. No, they need to be telling
this one was
to shut up. You're all grown-up people.
I'm asking the question.
Grown-up lads. Shouting.
I'm asking the question. Come on then, I'm on you.
I'm on the playground committee. We do not speak to each other like that. It is disgusting.
It is, but I'm asking the question.
Absolutely disgusting.
Because they're dead against this council, full stop, you can see this.
No, it isn't. It wants to be for the village.
So then ask your question. So what
I
different
have
we
to do
do?
my part for the village.
Oh, well, so you don't think they've done?
It's not working though, is it? So something needs to change.
It does change.
Something needs to change. We need open communication. We need
It does
respect.
change.
It hasn't. It's childish behaviour.
It has. Can I answer that? The one thing that has changed is the last chair has gone. She has brought.
Down to one person.
Please, I've listened to you. I've listened to you. She has brought this parish council to this level. The best thing she could do is walk through that door and resign.
Not down to one person.
Oh, it says the way she ruled it.
It's a committee.
You never saw it.
I did.
You to see how she ruled it. I have.
You were a large part of the problem, though, sir.
You cannot speak.
It's good, this, isn't it? It's a great argument when you can't actually allowed to respond to yourself. Not allowed to stand up for yourself. It's brilliant, isn't it? Is that the only way you will argue?
Sorry, just to bring you back to what we were talking about before. There's a proposed button there where do you want this button there where we can resolve?
We're not going to get it. No, we're not.
Going back to the original debate on the question that's to be put to the poll, could it be simple then, say it again, do the parishioners wish the parish council to be dissolved? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's a simple question.
Yeah, that's the question.
Sorry, I can't hear for...
Current, it would be the parish council.
Why not the current?
Why couldn't it be the current because of the new one?
Dissolving.
All right, okay, fair enough.
Dissolving the parish council.
Okay.
Fine, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Can I ask a question?
Parish council.
We can't carry on like this.
Chairman, I've just been listening very intently, listening quite vigorous debate. With a lot of opinion, good, bad, indifferent, and it's what I expected. But we've been asked if we could come up as a party, as a group of people, to put a question for a re-election or reconstitution of the council. And I've just been scribbling my notes, and I would propose that we could say, in view of the recent management problems of the parish council and its inability to create a settled opinion in the village, do we want a new council to be elected, yes or no? I think that's non-contestation. I think it's good job.
With the dissolution of council, does the Secretary of State have the final say?
No, monitoring officer. Yeah, we do, don't we?
Another family statement. Yeah.
So we need to take a vote on the question as proposed, and if we agree that's the question, that's the question.
No, I would support that gentleman's question.
Could I just ask, if that vote goes out to 1,900 people in the village, then they're not going to get an accurate answer because they don't know what's going on behind everything. So somehow we need to know what the issues are.
Very true. It's very true.
Well, this is not part of the purpose of this meeting for us to find out what's happened in the past year and why people are so disgruntled with the parish council per se, and let's take it away from individual members. Because the gentleman earlier was speaking about, or the lady was speaking about respect amongst the councillors. There's been very little respect amongst individual, whether you call individual people or individual camps in this meeting, and we're not learning very much. The chairperson is not taking any responsibility for chairing the meeting. That seems to be the clerk or Ian. And I'm no further forward in some respects about what the real issues are behind people's disgruntlement with the council. Because it's what's on Facebook or who shouts the loudest.
Correct.
And that's not helpful.
No.
So are we here for a review of what's happened in the past year? Was that what it said on the poster?
We've had a bad year. We've had a very bad year.
Right, well, can somebody describe that in a way that we can all understand?
The Barford meetings have been held flat. And what there has been, there's been decisions made outside the meetings.
By one person. Right, but where is everyone else then? So you have a chair, but then you have 5, 6 councillors. Have you not been challenging that chair? Have you not been then going back to the next meeting and saying that you disagree with the actions taken and holding the chair to account?
We were allowed to.
What?
Have you heard it tonight?
We are talking about. There's no control from this chair.
No, there's no control here either. No control here.
I was banned for 6 months a year. Orchestrated by the chair.
Inspection of records.
Slanderous.
You will clearly see that between meetings, between February and May, payments went out between meetings, post challenges from councillors.
So whether there's been challenged at the next...
They were challenged from
because there's nothing in the minutes that express that.
What are you talking about?
In the monthly parish meetings,
I think we need clarity on that
there's
statement.
nothing that suggests any disquiet amongst councillors. The minutes don't seem to reflect what we see on the YouTube.
Correct.
You know, the last one I heard somebody, there was a mention about a grant being made, and the councillor is clearly going to say it was fraudulent.
Correct.
But there's nothing in the minutes to say that it's fraudulent, and I don't know how somebody has backed up that statement.
It was done in writing. It was done in writing.
But it's not mentioned in the minutes.
I did it in writing.
We reported to the monitoring officer time after time about complaints and issues with the Parish Council, and we have had no response. I don't cancel.
Monitoring officer is a waste of time, basically. Right, has anybody got a sensible question?
Have we got to close the poll?
Yes, I think we should close the poll.
On the poll and close that down. Is that what we do? Marguerite, can we close the conversation on the poll?
Yes, we
and
can.
finalise the question and then it's dealt with?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're okay.
So, gentlemen,
sorry.
Mr. Burgess.
Would you like to repeat the question? No, I'll repeat the question. I'm not. In fact, I want to do it very carefully. So, anyhow, this is what I think would solve the problem. In view of the recent management problems of the Parish Council and its inability to create a settled opinion in the village, do you want a new council to be elected, yes or no?
But I thought there was an issue that it wasn't about electing a new council, it was about North Yorkshire taking things.
That's what would happen. Well, no, if we have that question there, that's the parish saying, do you want a new parish council? That would then go to the parish council to then decide what to do. And that's then up to the parish council.
Actually, can I just raise one point in your question where you said they couldn't get agreement within the parish? That is not true. They cannot get agreement within this meeting.
He said create a settled opinion. He said create a settled opinion.
Yeah.
It didn't
Within
say
the
agreement.
parish?
Yes.
Well, it's not the parish, it's within this meeting.
No, it's the question going in the poll. It's the question going in the poll.
The question isn't a statement of fact.
Yeah.
It's just a settled opinion. So that I understand this very good meeting, people want to express a group opinion. And they represent, I believe, these people here, represent the village as a whole. Because all the people council here.
I've actually spoken to a lot of people in the village who've said, I'm not going to the meeting because it's naturally a bum fight and they're sick of everything that they read on Facebook or see on YouTube and they hear of people gossiping about the parish council all the time. They say, we're not going to the meetings. We'd like to, but they won't because they're sick of them.
It'd be nice if you could finish.
If I may finish, I'm trying to find the form of words where we can express an opinion and then put it out to the village and they vote on it. And that is then can be taken to the next step. I think that's all we need to do.
Yes. I think the problem with that question is there isn't a resolution they can take from it, is there?
What do you mean?
I think we have to go forward on that. We're never going to get anywhere arguing like this.
The only thing that legally resolved is to ask the monitoring officer to dissolve.
Sorry, could you speak a bit louder? It's difficult to hear you.
I just can't see a resolution that could be drawn from that question.
Well, what about if it's rather than said the new council to be elected, or if you said the current council to resign? Because
that's nothing to resolve, that's a personal choice of the councillor.
But then that triggers
No, it doesn't, because they could just disregard that, whereas a poll to say dissolve would go to the monitoring office. I'm not trying to be awkward here, I'm trying to give you a resolution here that is legal.
So combine the two, combine Ashley's with the dissolve piece. So how would we word that?
Well, the best way to edging toward the solution, the best way is for this group to elect about 4 people or 5 people at the most and sit down and thrash out the words. Otherwise, we'll never get it on. That's the normal way to do it.
It has to be done here.
Yes. It has to be done here.
Has to be done here and now.
Yes. Here and now, let 4 or 5 people design the appropriate words and put it in the
So if we were to say then, if you want the current, if you want the parish Thornton Parish Council to be dissolved and a new one elected, that's a yes or no. I think that covers both.
You won't do the election.
The issue is what I said earlier though, the 1,900 people in the village wouldn't know what the issues are and they would probably vote not the way this meeting wants to go.
If it just says dissolve, they won't know that a new parish council will be elected in due course, unless there is some form of communication that is sent to them explaining the situation.
We've got to be careful, so to be quite honest, it doesn't really matter. This meeting can ask for parish poll and agree the questions. It doesn't matter if you wanted to go one way or the other, or if I wanted to go one way or the other. That's why I want to go to parish poll.
That would be a worthless poll. In my opinion.
That's fair. There's a lot of information out there, so I think people are more than welcome, or they have enough information out there. We can run, we can run meetings and people can agree if they agree or disagree. So effectively, we choose the wording of things. Debate.
Public consultation.
And we've got a proposer for the question, which is what it says in the rules. There's got to be a proposer for the question, and their name and address has to be recorded by the clerk in the meeting. So if Mr. Burgess is the proposer, then, Carrie, you'd need to record that, wouldn't you? That's what it says in the rules. The meeting must vote on the question, which will be used in the poll, and all those present at the meeting and eligible to vote may give their vote. So now we're voting on whether we approve the question. Unless, Carrie, you tell me that's something different. But that's what.
I'm just trying to give you a question.
Oh no, I'm just checking with you, that's all, because that's what it says in the county council rules, that's what I'm reading.
Just trying to give you
Yeah.
we should do a question that can be taken action on.
Well, I think.
How much is it going to
Have we
cost?
taken action on it? So yes or no question.
It's a good question, Ian.
The last one cost 3,500.
Was it?
So you'll be costing the council £3,500 as you managed before.
We could raise some money.
Or more.
We could raise some money. We could raise some money.
For a simple question, what's wrong with the present council?
I think we've agreed to the meeting and one of the parish poll. And I think we need some wording on that, which is, I think, forgive me, Mr. Register, in view of recent issues of management problems and deliver to create a do you want the current parish council to be dissolved and a new parish council to be elected?
In due course, I think what we need.
Are there 4 or 5 people in this room now who would be willing to compose that and sign it on? Yeah.
We have to vote. We have to vote for it in the meeting. I mean, Janet, you know the rules. I understood from these rules it says the meeting.
I wouldn't guarantee that.
Let's not be rude.
I know.
Let's just not be rude.
I've seen some of the
Let's
stuff
just
on
not be
it.
rude. Let's just not be rude. What it says here is we have to vote on the question in the meeting. That's what it says in the council rules.
So can I therefore propose, just measure on the question, in view of recent issues of management problems and individual do you want the current parish council be dissolved and a new parish council be elected in due course?
Even a sweat.
Hey?
Even a sweat.
That's what?
What it says it is.
How many people are the parish current, leave alone whether we like it or not? How many people are the parish council allowed to co-opt onto their committee meetings?
7 parish council places at the moment. There's 7 councillor seats that are on.
And how many do you have at present? Sorry.
Well, we can co-opt
But we-
committees, can't they?
The question I suppose is what I'm asking is, would this whole situation be resolved if there were 3 or 4, 5 people who would be willing to join the parish council, even if for a short period, to actually try and iron out some of these problems?
Yes, by committee.
Committee or how, I'm talking off the top of my head here because I know nothing. But it seems to me that that might be a way forward, because it seems, I'm not putting myself forward at all, but it would seem to me that there are people within this meeting that have the good of the village at heart and want the parish council to do the best job it can for the parishioners within its boundaries. And if they were to join the parish council only for a short period of time, or do a switch, whatever, however it works, that might sort of settle things down a bit. I don't know, but it's a question.
But the parish can create committees, can't they?
That was the plan we were going to do.
Yeah.
So we don't need polls, all we need is all the people who are agitating, get
So we've decided to have it a vote, we've already voted.
they pass a resolution to form committees and carry on from there.
Yeah, but then who chooses those people that they're going to co-opt?
Yeah.
You're not co-opting, are you? Just appointing to a committee.
Have a committee.
So we have some quiet, please. You are trying to, Carrie is trying to give you an answer.
Council can resolve to have a committee for a certain purpose. There's advisory committees, there is committees with delegated powers to do certain roles. Members would be signing up to the same code of conduct standards as a councillor to do a certain purpose on that committee.
Can I just say something? Have we not voted to have a poll done?
Yes.
I know that, and I know you're not feeling very well, and I can see that, or that you're not feeling better, and I just think that you're getting more and more stressed by it. I think they voted for a poll. I think for the whole of the village, whether or not we agree or not on polls, I think it has to be done. It'll shut up Facebook, it'll shut up everybody being rude to each other. You know, we do all live together, we all live in the same village, and we do want for the best for the village. And I think if we voted for a poll, it just has to go to a poll and end of story. And see what the people want in the village. Because it's all right us all shouting and them all shouting and carrying on and saying this, that and the other, but it ain't going to do anybody any good. Nothing's going to move forward. You know, you can all accuse one person and one that and another, but at the end of the day, we're all a community. And why is everybody arguing? You're trying to do your best, they're trying to do their best, the hub's trying to do their best, everybody's trying to do their best, and we should be all working together. So if it means having a poll, and this is what they've already voted for, why don't we just get a poll done and end of story?
You've not asked any questions. The lady's asked a question. I've just tried to answer.
Yeah, I know that. I understand that totally. But is that something we could go on later on, maybe? If the poll comes back and they say, yes, they have confidence in our parish council, maybe that's something to explore.
That's a good idea.
But why are you exploring it? I mean, I know it's Margaret's asked the question. I understand that.
Someone has a right to ask.
I understand that totally, but is not the poll already being voted on? So we're having a poll, whatever, is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, we voted on it.
I think they voted on it, and I think that's just the way to go, because it's just not going to do anybody any good here. Everyone's getting upset. It's making everybody ill. And we're a community. And we've got a lovely village, and I think Thornton Dale really does deserve something, you know, and we're just not getting there. Whether or not you're trying to do your best and they're trying to do their best, it's just not working. Let the village speak. If they want a poll, let them have a poll. End of story. As I say, if it comes back and you're happy, then Have your subcommittees if that's what you want to do.
You're,
Sorry,
you're,
Henry.
you're discussing the council from last year.
No, Henry, the council have not been happy for a long time, whether or not it's the village or with you or whatever. It's just not
Draw a
working.
line, please, and ask if anyone's got more questions, and then we can go to what we want for the plan. People have a right to ask questions.
Any more questions?
So, what is the question you want? What is the question?
What Mr. Burgess had said.
Right, what's the question you want for this poll? We've got about 3 different questions down here.
Sorry?
In view of recent issues of management.
Sorry, Matt, they're not listening.
Ready? In view of recent issues of management, apologies. In view of recent issues of management problems and his inability to create a settled opinion.
No. You can't do that.
You preempted the answer.
Do we dissolve the parish council or not? Full stop.
So that was the word that was just
So that is it. Do we dissolve the parish council? We want to point fingers. That's what you're doing. You're pointing the finger, Mark.
So that's the question, the wording that Mr. Burgess just
Mark, you
proposed.
are pointing the finger at the council of now instead of the council of before, where we found all the bloody money problems. And that's what you've all been moaning about.
Libelling.
That wasn't
She is not lying.
I didn't say she was lying. I said she was libeling.
I'm not libeling either.
That wasn't my words, that's the words that just Mr. Burgess proposed.
And it's slander, not libeling.
Mr. Burgess's question.
So we have some questions about the village for a change, like Denise said. Right, come on, all we've done is slag this up. You slagged everyone, everyone slagged each other. There's nothing being said about this village. Why are there some questions about this, like Denise said, a better village, best village you'll ever get into? All you do is stand and slag each other off, you're absolutely right. That's the biggest culprit I know. It's right.
I love this village.
Born and bred here, 63 years, and she's absolutely right. Same as we stuck here. Absolutely right. Just get a bit of civilisation into this meeting for a change. If you want to dissolve the council, let's dissolve it and carry on. Let's move on. Stop being like bloody kids and grow up and get it done. But let's have something about the village brought up for a change. And come on.
Chair.
Oh, well done, stand up, woman. What do you want?
Are you or the chair?
Wait, my last leg or something.
So the grass cutting?
Yes.
Why was it so late getting cut? Because it's just been like haymaking.
We've had a problem with contract with grass cutting because there were pieces that were stuck on his contract after he signed the contract, which culminated, what was it, 6 hours work for nothing. And that's why he was put it this year.
So can I ask you a question? Now, if that is the case, that these pieces were fastened onto the contract, as you put it,
Yes.
who approved them?
The council never, we as councillors, we knew nothing.
Yes, you did. Every single time you voted on it.
So if the council knows anything about them, who put those notices on that contract?
The clerk.
Who was?
The clerk.
The clerk that sat here now? No. All right, I don't know. I'm asking a question. But who gave them the right to do it?
The council.
Who gave them the right?
The council.
The old council. With no councillors, the old.
Can you just shut up a minute? I can be as often as you. The point about it is the council and the people who approve whatever's done out as a contract. If there's any adjustments done on that contract, they have to be signed off by the council. And the council is 7 people.
Yeah, exactly.
So you put a contract out and it was changed. You're saying to us that
was done without your knowledge?
Yes. We did see it in 2020.
Well, the point about it is, whether it's right or wrong, you, as a set of councillors, are not in charge of the situation.
That's why they've changed the chair.
Can you be,
It's a council, the whole body. It's not just the chair. All you've done is change the chair.
But if
you
you
haven't
don't,
changed the council.
if you're excluded from every bit of knowledge, you don't know. You only know what you're told. And if you're excluded, you don't know what's going on.
I've been to meetings since last May, and you've all been included in every decision.
None of them knew about the grass cutting.
But it's
And the
been
grass
signed
cutting
off.
is
Where it was discussed.
That's what you're asking for.
Wasn't it signed minutes?
Yes.
Well, that's what the minutes are for.
No, because that was private meeting. None of us know. You're basically saying you know knowledge of a private meeting.
It's not saying anything like that, John.
You've had private meetings, haven't you?
If it's a private meeting, you wouldn't know, but you're saying you knew
Don't engage in that debate.
information. That would have been out of a
Something you
private
don't want to
meeting,
be.
nobody else knew.
Don't engage. Don't engage.
Not the details of payments or changing contracts, that is private.
Can I ask, have you got the poll question, please?
Taking on this, so do you want to go to do you want the Thornton Parish Council to be dissolved and the new Thornton Parish Council to be elected in due course?
Yes. Simple as that. Yeah.
Yes.
Now we have to vote on it, don't we?
Please, can you just read it again, so I get it word for word,
I'll
please?
bring that around, sorry. Do you want the Thornton Parish Council to be dissolved?
Steady.
Technically, it's actually Thornton Dale Parish Council because it's wider than the village.
Do you want the Thornton Dale Parish Council to be dissolved and the new Thornton Dale Parish Council to be elected in due course?
That's a simple.
Well, that will happen anyway, won't it, in due course? You don't need a resolution.
Yeah. And if they get back on, get back on. Following the vote, the chairman has the duty to provide the answer question. Name and address.
Are you happy with what we're doing with this?
Yes. Got the question.
We've got the question. We're going to close the meeting because it's just an close the meeting. Thank you.
It's got it cost of it. That's a £4,000. Is it saying it's like
Meeting closed.